Muy buenas a todos chicos, estoy aquí en una nueva entrevista, en este caso estoy con Orome, top laner de Mad Lions en la LEC, que acaba de ganar al equipo de Vitality. Hello Orome, first of all, thank you very much for being here and congratulations on the victory against Vitality.
Thank you.
Uh, you just won with a very solid performance. Also, you had a little fiesta at the end of the game, but that was like really solid from you guys. So, tell me a bit about this game and your game plan going into this victory.
Well, I think we fucked up a bit in draft in this game. Like the trade for Syndra and Yumi that we did wasn't really optimal.
Mhm.
Well, at least in our view. But the Nautilus pick was also kind of surprising for us because they needed more damage. You can't just have one damage dealer, just Kaisa in their case. So going into the game, like we just went with the mentality that if we don't lose by 20 minutes, we will just outscale them.
Mhm.
So obviously after it went really well for the first 15-20 minutes of the game, like we were super mega ahead. Everyone, I think, outperformed their direct opponents maybe.
Mhm.
And we had better rotations on the map. We kind of trolled. I mean, we had a bit too much fun. Like let's put
Yeah.
it like that. We as a team we are full of people that like to have fun in the game. Like
Mhm.
we play actually for fun. And in a game like that, where we are really ahead and you have so many play possibilities, it's easy to overextend or limit us too much, and
Yeah,
that's what happened. A bit too
Humanity
much.
went like from 6-0 to 6-5 or something like that. You had so much fun on the mid game. Were you
Yep.
surprised on draft when they left open power picks such as Syndra or comfort picks for you guys like the Lee Sin?
I think it's not easy to ban Lee Sin in this meta because it's mostly a bot lane centric meta,
Mhm.
and you need to ban a lot of bot laners. Also, Oriana was a big power pick for Marek this split, so we were pretty sure they're gonna ban it.
Mhm.
So um, we weren't so surprised that they let Syndra open. We were a bit surprised that they let Yumi open though.
Mhm. Talking about yesterday, you won Fnatic on one of the hardest game of the calendar for you. So you also won with a great performance, very solid. So what can we expect from you guys this summer split? You obviously like overperform, kinda the last split. You were third. So what can we expect from Mad Lions this summer split?
I think you can expect us to get only better
Mhm.
because I think we've been on upward slope uh, starting spring split.
Mhm.
Like during the whole spring split, I think we improved a lot. We've gone through a lot of playstyles. Our problem in spring split was that we were really one-dimensional. Like we were always doing only one thing. Like
Mhm.
if in that period we were practicing fighting for objectives, we would go in game and we would fight you to the death on every objective. If we were practicing trading sides, like we would go into game and we were like four people on one side of the map all the time. Like this kind of things. But I think this season, like it's all come together kind of,
Mhm.
and we are more complete as a team. We're not one-dimensional as well.
Mhm.
So I look forward to us improving during this split as well.
As you say, you were like kinda one-dimensional, so you didn't change obviously any piece, any player from the lineup. So did you change something in the way you work or in the way you prepare the games to be like more flexible with your playstyles?
I mean, I think in spring we did what we learned best,
Mhm.
and by the time playoffs came, if we only knew one style, obviously playoffs is not the time to learn a new one, right?
Mhm.
So that's why we had like that whole thing with Orome weak side, bot lane has to
Yeah.
carry, etc. Right? Like we obviously you're not going to change that in playoffs. In playoffs, it's time for band-aids rather than actual fixes to problems.
Mhm.
So obviously, I think it in the end it went pretty well for us.
Yeah.
Um, but we've had some time since playoffs to practice other styles as well, and right now we're not like stuck in one style because we're not trying to band-aid anything. We're trying to improve
Mhm.
and learn more.
Going more into this split in general in the LEC, we saw teams with pretty better um, run, like SK for example had a great performance these first matches compared to Spring. Also Vitality, I think, kinda. So what do you think about the level of the league right now in this summer split?
Well, I think right now we're in a meta where draft can decide the game really easily, and I think there's been a lot of upsets based on draft as well. That's not to say that we also didn't have very good drafts. Like, for example, the game against SK, I think we just win from draft unless we like forget our fingers at home or something. Like, there's no way we lose that game. Um, so I think upsets can happen due to draft reasons. And about these teams like SK and Vitality doing well, like they are for sure upgraded since last split, but I think they will fall off maybe in a couple of weeks because if your goal is to make it as far as possible into Worlds, you're not gonna start really strong from Spring Split because burnout is a real factor for someone
Yeah.
who wants to make a deep run at Worlds, right? So you don't want to start at full strength from even before the split starts because then you're gonna be burnt out by the time of Worlds. And I think, I mean, we had this approach as well, where we started kind of late. We started scrimming kind of late. We have like a lower amount of scrims a week and stuff like this, which will obviously turn up as the season goes. But right now, I think that's the best approach to take for every top team.
Also, you are now in a 4 game streak of victories. You only lost against G2 in the first match of the split, so I want to ask you specifically about that game because we didn't saw like the best G2 yet in this split. So tell me about that game. What do you think that were the mistakes that made you to lose that BO1?
So basically, we were planning on picking Senna Wukong into them. For some reason, they banned Senna.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out great. The draft went pretty downhill from there, and we were stuck with a comp that, I mean, I think the only engage that we had was me as Wukong. And also, like, I swear, I've spammed solo queue with Wukong blind for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we've screamed Wukong for 2 weeks, blind pick. No one picked Morde, like, we weren't expecting the Morde pick as well. So when I was the only engage and they picked Morde, I was like, yeah, they have full poke, we have to engage on them, and if I go in, I get Morde. So this is not going great. And yeah, basically that was the game.
Also, I want to ask you, you are now playing both in SLO and in LEC for these 2 weeks, so how is to play 4 or even 5 matches in the same week? Are you practicing with the academy team or only playing the official match?
Well, I'm not really practicing with the academy team because I mean I don't have time. Obviously,
Yeah,
LEC takes
obviously.
priority in the team, so rankings. So we do our standard LEC practice, and I do maybe warm ups if for example, last week Monday was our free day, and I didn't have a free day because I spent the whole day with academy. But if I have a normal LEC day and then I have an LVP game, then I will just play the LVP game without warm ups or anything because LEC practice takes priority.
Finally, last question, talking about SLO, you were playing there last week, so what were like the biggest changes going from a regional league to the LEC?
Oof, I mean, I think I don't know, like the game at an SLO level or at a regional league level is so much different from LEC. Like, you can't even compare it because macro is basically almost non-existent at regional league level compared to LEC. Um, and also I had no practice with the academy team, so I didn't know like um, what their playstyle is, how their players react. Like when you are an LEC team, especially us in Mad Lions, we all know how everyone wants to play. Like I know Marek wants to go side and get fed. I know Karzi wants to snowball lane. Like everyone knows these things, right?
Yeah.
So we all do the best we can to enable our teammates to do good as well when we play. But if I go into a team that is unknown to me, then it's gonna be harder for me to enable my teammates because I don't know how they like to play the game.
Ujú. Pues esto ha sido todo, chicos. Thank you very much, Orome, for coming and congratulations again on the victory. Good luck on this split. Recordad que tenéis muchas más entrevistas en el canal de YouTube de Sportmaníacos y que si os ha gustado podéis darle un like y compartirlo. Hasta luego, goodbye.
Goodbye.